Mm, We're going to go into, uh, sorry in a sec, guys. Sorry about this. I just got to get this live working. Okay, I think it's working now. Okay, let's kick it off. Let's start off with a little review of where we're at today, trading all-time highs. Okay. We'll see what kind of session we have today pre-session, but ultimately, Asia had a sick run. We hit all-time highs. If we go to the daily here quickly, here's the 1 hour. Here is the daily. Right. So we pulled back, and now we're basically drawing in. And the only thing I'm interested right now is following. We're going to do our fib retracements on the daily here. Make sure that we are capturing a couple of key levels. Okay. Don't need that anymore. Number one is going to be 0.5 retracement. So 1.5 and 2. These are very important. We'll mark these as red. Maybe like pink, just so we know where the market could head to from an expansion perspective. Okay? Okay, very simple. This is all we have today to basically go off all-time highs. We have no price action in the back. We can use possible projections, so 0.5 and 1, and kind of moving down to the 4 hour. We just opened up and we pushed nicely for the first 4 hours, and now we're consolidating on the 4 hour. Okay. 1 hour, again, very similar situation here on the top right. We, pushed up until midnight. So great trading up until like 10 o'clock yesterday. A couple of my buddies who traded Asia, the longs paid. You just had to hit long and just manage your stop loss accordingly. You made big money. But now we're in pre 9:30 on a holiday, so I'm not going to be interested after 9:30, but before 9:30 we might get something significant. But what's the 1 hour telling me? Honestly, not much. You can use this wick here. I'm going to add quadrants on the wick, and you can see here mean threshold has been somewhat respected, and price is hovering around the first quadrant of it. Wicks can be seen as gaps, and right now this indicates bullish pressure. It's not like I'm going to be looking for this low. We'll look at the lower time frames, but ultimately it's kind of like we really want to aim for highs, right? Like when you're in all-time highs, shorting is tough. Okay. 15-minute, we opened up, right? How many points was the open at 6 o'clock? Technically yesterday, right? Sunday was 157 points. Ever since then, all you have to know on the 50-minute chart, which is this middle one here, is price pushed up, and now it's consolidating. You can look at key fair value gaps like this one right here at 1148. It's a clean it, right? It kind of stands out. It's a bit different than the rest of them, and you can see here how price respected somewhat the mean threshold of it once, twice, and now it's sitting above it, right? It did take out liquidity here, right? So the low of the swing, that was sell side liquidity. Then if you think about like where's the next level of sell side liquidity if you were going to be short, there's your Asia lows right there, and you got this gap here. But today's assumption is that we're generally in a bullish state. London took out sell side. We're hovering around mean threshold. We broke above it. And let's see if we want to start taking these highs. Okay. From a 5-minute perspective, again, similar story. That sell side was taken there. Aggressive move lower, higher. We got these relative equal highs here, which we're going to transpose onto the 1 minute. Relative equal highs. But ultimately right now we're still kind of in this consolidated mood. So that's the higher time frame analysis. Pretty simple. Right? There's not much to go off of when it comes to all-time high trading. Again, today is a news holiday. So we got to be a bit careful. Okay? All right, let's do a 1 minute analysis here now on NQ. So ES, we are going to do that too. Okay. NQ's on the left-hand side. And number one, level London highs, right? Relatively equal highs. Very important. We had this disruption here of the lows. Sell side liquidity. This has been swept. And I don't have any interest in shorts. And looking kind of before us, we had like a nice level of sell side here, which was taken right before 9:30. Here's this 1 hour. Call this the 1 hour fair value gap. We still have 7 minutes till the first macro, but trading after 7 is, the safer bet here, as that's kind of when price starts kicking in and you start seeing some kind of volume enter the market. But we had this sell side level went higher, relative equal highs, dropped lower, punishment to the downside. Anyone that was long and had their stops below basically these lows here got stopped out, came back up, shipped in market structure, came back lower to that mean threshold of that 1 hour fair value gap, pushed up higher. You can see tag these highs here ever so slightly. Okay. Pushed lower, dipped into this 1 hour fair value gap, and now it's sitting above it, right? So again, a couple of things I like to look at. Number one, where's the first fair value gap after? You know what we can do actually? Since we're trading and we have limited information, let's look at the opening range from 12 to 12:30. 12. This is some stuff. I haven't used it in a long time, but because we're so limited on information, we got to pull out everything we have. That's 12:32 candle. We got to open up the highs. We got to mark up the highs and the lows between 12 to 12:30. Okay. I just want to see how price reacts. Something called the midnight opening range. Okay. So it happens at midnight, and we can put this all the way here, but basically it's the highs, which is right here, 12:05, all the way to the lows. And the lowest low is actually at 12:16, okay, Eastern. And I'm just looking at prices reacting to this opening range here. Sometimes you can look at the first fair value gap within here, which is right here. That I am like, okay, that's the first fair value gap after midnight. So let's see what kind of, price is somewhat sitting in this area. You can see it's bouncing off the highs, breaking in, using the lows. So there is some kind of respect to the opening range. And sometimes you don't see this, sometimes you do. I do like to map things out like this and see if it's something that we're going to be using. So all in all, yeah, that's going to be the first fair value gap of, that wouldn't be it, in my opinion. This is like a more significant move to the upside. So I'm liking this fair value gap more from like a first presentation after midnight. Okay. So anyways, we have this, we are looking at it. And now we're looking at structure, okay? Point 3. I like to look at first presentation fair value gaps after 6 o'clock. So we're gonna map a couple more here. I'm just gonna look at how, if price were to go down here, how it would respect it. We got a bearish PDA right here at the 6 o'clock candle, 6:02 actually. We can mark this as FP after 6 a.m. And then we're gonna do the same thing after 7 a.m. Okay. Why am I doing this? Because ICT did it in the past, and it's things that I just picked up from him. And these fair value gaps tend to hold a bit better than the rest of them. Okay. And then when it comes to ES, so we got ES on the right hand side. We are looking at, again, is it converging or is it similar to what we see? So when it comes to these relative equal highs here, right, there was a divergence. You can see higher high on ES. It already swiped the liquidity on this candle here. It did it on NQ, right? So a bit more bullishness from ES. And then again, price kind of moved sideways here. So anyways, you know, key salient points that I like to look at ES as well as like relative equal lows, relative equal highs. That's where price is usually drawn to. And the easiest way to do is like scrunch it, like just scrunch and see what price did during. It looks pretty brutal from a London perspective because of like this crazy whipsaw that happened. But this is kind of what we have to deal with today. So again, this level right here is a bit sketch. And then we got our all-time highs, which is ultimately the line right here. Now we're going to basically, so now we know what we're dealing with, but NQ is giving us definitely a bit more information on what it wants to do. Okay. And now we patiently wait. We wait for a nice setup. We know what we're looking for. We're liking those relative equal highs from a daily perspective. Okay. You know, ES has some lows here, like this low and this low. Look, they're relatively equal here, but you can see here how NQ is definitely a lot more bearish here because it created a lower low here and on NQ never did. So that's SMT divergence. And now we're trading back into this level here where you can see prices really does range, but it's the midnight opening range. Okay. Let me get my broker set up here. I'm trading M and Q. And if anyone has any questions about anything I talked about in terms of market analysis before we start actually getting into possible trades, feel free to drop them in the chat. That's going to be the biz. Yeah. All right. We're entering the first macro here of the day of the, we call it the pre-9:30 session, where the only purpose of this session is it tags liquidity and inefficiency from the London session. Okay. So what have we done over the last 10 minutes here quickly, is we went through where can price possibly go to. Again, we're in all-time highs. We definitely pushed during Asia. We consolidated during London. And the question is during pre-30 and 9:30, what is price going to do? Today is a holiday. We got to be extra mindful of price. And it's going to be a bit sloppier today, maybe, or it might be smooth, right? But I'm always a bit more cautious about days like this because today trading around 1 o'clock it finishes. So at 9:30, I want to be done. I don't want to trade the open with everybody. It's just going to be hopefully one quick little trade pre 9:30, and that's it, and we'll call it a day. We got the macro kicking in right now. So the macro is a window of time that price tends to move a bit more than the rest of the hour. So 650 to 710. This is our macro. Okay. And, like looking at price here, possible minor sell side liquidity right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lows here, right? Like this is our, generally our target here. We can put a little eyeball here. It'll be nice to continue to go higher, right? We had a disruption lower, consolidation push higher, but again, you have to wait for a move in the market that gives us confidence that say, hey, listen, it's going to go into this direction or that direction. Not just blindly going, oh, you know what? Like, let's quickly just take a long here and hopefully it's going to, like, this is not going to be a good trade, right? So we're going to have 650 here. Yeah, highs look really nice on the higher time frame. It would be really nice for this to be disrupted first and then for price to kind of revert and start pushing to the upside. But right now, kind of price, you can see here, it pushed once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times into the first presentation after midnight. It's really interesting to see. And just looking at hindsight, it did pierce. It didn't super respect it, but it pierced it many times. But again, it did hold this level. So again, I'm watching this range here, and even when we broke out of it, you can see here price just broke right back in. So, watching this high here to see how it reacts, and generally this darker purple area here as well. But I think optimally it would be nice to see price, kind of something like that, do some disruption here, give us like a nice shift in market structure, and then print to the highs. That's something that I would want to see. But being pre 9:30, we'll see at 7 o'clock what happens when we open, what price wants to do. But it would be nice to see like a little nice continuation trade higher. Price has these relative equal lows also on ES. Again, I'm not so concerned about these just because of how NQ drove significantly lower before pushing higher. I am watching them though, but overall, NQ is definitely a lot more blocky pre 9:30. Again, with its highs above us. Again, we just have to see and wait here. Price should start picking up volume soon. Double checking, yeah, there's nothing on my forexfactory.com or Forex Factory. Tomorrow we got CPI. Interesting. No, I lied. Tomorrow we've got nothing. We've got consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. Thursday, we have preliminary GDP. Okay, so nothing too crazy this week in terms of news. A couple of red fold, almost no red folder. Just on Thursday, we got some 8:30 news, but that's about it. So that's good to know. Okay. So price broke out of this first presentation here. I'm going to mark this little fair value gap it created here. Got minor buy side above us. Okay. Minor buy side liquidity. What does minor mean? It means that there's a short-term objective. It's not our long-term objective. It's just somewhere where price may go because there's probably some sell stops sitting above it. So mhm. But again, we're patient here. Why? It's because we have to see clear disruption to price and then a clear move to a specific direction. Very important. I think as traders, um, it's extremely important to be patient, and patient pays. And you'll learn one day, and maybe you already know this, but you make money not trading. And all it requires is one clean execution. And sometimes you get that wrong because of your strike rate, right? Your edge just doesn't play out. That's fine. But again, patient pays, and you just can't go into the market randomly and just start trading because you will blow your accounts, you will lose. That's not what you want. You need to make sure that you have conviction and a proven edge behind you. And that's what's going to pay you in the long term, right? Because if you guys are doing this full time or you guys want to do this full time, it's really important that if you guys are impatient, then start going to the gym, start running every morning. And that's going to help you kind of get that edge off and be a bit more patient, sitting down in front of the charts and really kind of waiting for that rate move before executing. So you can see here price since the morning, disruption to the downside. Again, it didn't really take any like major sell side liquidity, but it just did push into that 1 hour fair value gap, push to the upside, went into that midnight opening range that we talked about, created these really smooth lows here, pushed higher. It displaced away first presentation at midnight, and now it's trading back into it, right? So if it breaks below it, like here is like, number one, it stays above it and then it continues pushing higher, right? Option one. Option two is, I'd like to see this, is it breaks back below here and it starts using first presentation after midnight as resistance. And it wants to ultimately tag this level here. This is minor sell side. I'm really drawn to this level right now, even though that I'm primarily bullish today because we're at all-time highs. And the only way you should be trading is long because you will get chopped up. Same as like tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be long as well because we're in all-time highs. Until we reach those higher time frame thresholds, that is something that that shorts are difficult. I got chopped up in the past, try to short all-time highs. You think it hit a high, but it just keeps ripping higher and higher, and it just never stops. So you just got to get on with the move. That's how you trade all-time highs. Okay. 7 o'clock hits. Usually at 7 o'clock, there's this larger injection of volume, which you can see right here. don't know if I'd be down for short here. It never took, if it took out minor buy side and then it just did this move, but like, you know, if price were to, you know, invert this, push lower, what would it look like? Right. Something like that. Get above that bullish order block and then drive lower again. Shorts in an environment like this. We were consolidating for all of London. So again, within the consolidation, trying to find a minor buy side liquidity sweep. Right now, we had a change in market structure where this candle here, it closed below, right? So, you know, higher high, lower high, higher high, and then lower low, right? So this is like the, you know, shift in market structure. Not a strong one. It's not at a key level. But again, let's see if price wants to kind of get below this first presentation after midnight and then use it as a resistance and show us a bit more here that it really wants to drive down to this level. I'm not taking this, guys, right now. I am not taking that. I am just sizing if price were to show us like this displacement that we had here at 652, and it shows like right now, look, it closed above it, right? So this is not clean. Like this is not a clean rejection of a fair value gap to the downside, right? So now we wait, right? This could have just been a sweep here of this little small minor buy side liquidity before higher. So again, not enough information here. I'm just sizing here, guys. You can see here, price went into mean threshold of the range, pushing below it. You know, sell side below us. We are in a macro shift in market structure. If I were to take it right now, it would just be like again, a very small position, and it's within consolidation. So not unless these candles over the next 2-3 minutes give us something nice, I'm not going to be taking this. We just got to wait here a bit more. Again, all-time highs, guys. Shorts are risk. The better trades are like price tags the minor sell side, and then you take the long, right? Assuming that we're not in like crazy consolidation. But we got minor buy side above us here, still not tagged, relative equal highs. And you can see here, like, look what price is doing. 7 o'clock open, the pre-9:30 open, as they call it, and price is just moving, you know, sideways here. So it's good. Like, we are anticipating and seeing consolidation real time. And during consolidation, you don't want to trade. We might have consolidation all the way to 9:30. And if we manage to see that and you don't trade it, you won as a trader for that day, right? Even if you didn't make money, you didn't lose money, and you've seen, you know, consolidation and analyzed consolidation in real time. Okay, look what it did here, right? Still sitting within first presentation fair value gap after 9 a.m. Right now, it pushed higher. This candle hasn't closed yet, but you can see here, this here is like, what's price going to do, right? From a 1 minute perspective, can do many things here. You got a shift in market structure. We're staying above these levels, right? Price is not breaking below. Minor buy side above us. Minor sell side below us. And then we got our relative equal highs here. If anyone here has a clear direction, if we're going to go bullish or bearish, feel free to drop it in the chat. But as of right now, I'm sidelined. I am completely sidelined until price gives us a bit more. I think it's going to push up, but to be honest, yeah, again, I see it going down. I think all-time highs is risky going forward. I'm looking at the 1 hour right now. Again, consolidation, 5-minute consolidation, 15-minute consolidation. So it's going to break out of it eventually. Maybe not today. It could be today. I'm hoping for today before 9:30. Because like this is how I see bank holidays happen. The last clean trades happen before 9:30. There's an injection of volatility, sloppy price action after 9:30, and then price closes off and closes the day. So, and we're at all-time highs too. So, go figure. I do trade ICT concepts here, guys. If anyone has any questions about anything, any colors, anything at all, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer as we wait for consolidation to do its thing here. You can see on ES, look, price is actually heading toward these lows here. Remember, this low is that low there. Yeah, price might actually go that. NQ is the more bullish. Is the more bullish asset. But again, like this is like what? Like on ES, like you take like you can't even take like a 1-to-1 here. You can't do anything here. it's not favorable right now. So anyways, we'll see what price gives us. Most I can get if the candle shows something nice here, it's like a 1.5-to-1 on the downside. At this level, again, I think it's going to be taken before like the next move up. But again, the safer play would be waiting for it to take in and then start taking positions long. And then it driving towards these relative equal highs from the London session, right? Recently, I'm going to be starting this new prop firm. I just passed an account on Friday. It's called My Funded Family. They're a newer space. One of my buddies, he got a couple of payouts with them, and he's like, you know, Dom, the rules are insane. It's a 1-day pass for 50K, cheaper than Top Step. And you get your account within like 3 hours of passing. So that's what I did on Friday. They even gave me a coupon code. If you guys want up to 75% off, use code DOM for FundedNext family. Wait, what is it called? Yeah, Funded Future Family. They're probably going to be more expensive in the future. Like all firms, they start out cheap, and then as they scale, they get more expensive. So now it's the time to leverage them. So I'm going to be getting to, I think 5 accounts is their max. So once I get a payout from them, I'm going to use that and just buy 5 more accounts. And then that's how I scale companies. Start off with 1, get a payout of 2,000 to 2,500, and then use that, buy 4 more accounts, and then you start pulling big money. Or decent money, at least $2,000 per account is all you need, guys. All right, so we got to move higher. First presentation fair value up after 7 o'clock could be this. See? And this is why you wait for proper candle formation. Minor buy side taken here. We're going to mark this as first presentation. And we'll know in 30 seconds here. Let's see if this stays open. First presentation after 7 a.m. This is very important. This is one of the key PD arrays that ICT uses a lot. I'm hoping it closes here because it'll give us something to kind of go off of. I wasn't so crazy about this one. It was an okay fair value up until we're going to get this one. Minor buy side was taken. Again, this move right here, guys, not catchable, right? If you're like, oh, Dom, like, why don't you see this move? Not catchable. All right, so we got our first presentation after 7 o'clock. Displacement away from the first presentation after midnight. And then let's see if it wants to. Like if we were to go back here, reject, relative equal highs. trading all-time highs, like there will be no TP. It's just trying to pull as high as you can. Again, these lows haven't been taken. Minor sell side liquidity right here, very smooth. You know, that's of concern. Number one, when it comes to going long, everything looks bullish to me. It is, man. There's the one bearish shrew 18 is this right here. That's the only thing I see of price going down. But right now we're bulls, man. We're above midnight open. Nice displacement to the upside at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. So like right now, technically, in theory, we don't want to see this being broken to the downside, right? It'll be really nice to see price come back down here and really reject both these levels here, this level and this level. Okay. The price right now is above midnight opening range. This lighter purple box. We have another fair value. Yeah, that forms here to the upside. There is going to be no, because like when it comes to a safe target, this could be a safe target, like these relative equal highs, right? But all-time highs, believe it or not, many times I just saw price just print insane numbers, and you're just there on the sideline just watching. You're like, okay, I got a 1R, and price printed another 10 Rs. So that's kind of, that's the business here. So the only thing and like ES, these two relative equal lows here, it's the only thing I see counter trend, right? Before them. So, you know, option one is we go down here, nice rejection, and we push higher. Or price wants to be funny, slices through all this, inverts all this, pushes lower, and then prints higher. Those are like my two possible options. I do hope that like this displacement here after 7 o'clock is a displacement. So right now price, it closed on the lower half of this fair value gap here, more like a gap, right? An imbalance. But again, we're just watching right now and we're waiting for a clean trade. You know, could you take a trade like this? There is an edge here. Don't get me wrong, right? But I do want to see how price is going to react on the pullback before printing higher here. We got relative equal highs above us on ES. So NQ is more bullish than ES right now. Just looking at like the past couple of minutes where it's printing new higher highs and ES is not. Make a phone call. I have to call a gravel company. I'm doing my driveway in the front and the contractors need gravel. So 9, order that. So it's same day delivery. Okay. Price is closing below the high of the midnight opening range. Again, midnight opening range is the first 30 minutes, guys, after 12 o'clock. Price tends to respect these levels a bit more than your average levels. That's all it is, okay? And the dark purple line here, that's first presentation. And you guys can't even see me because I'm blocking it all with my face. Moving in higher, this is it, guys. First high, first low after 7 o'clock, and then the first presentation here. To be honest, just thinking, guys, right now. Give us a bit more here. Give us a bit more information before me locking in a position. If I were to go long, I would probably have my stop below here, because if this gets hunted, that's going to get hunted, right? Right. Minor buy side has been taken. price is just hovering. It still never touched first presentation. Again, if, you know, I wait a bit more and it gives us a nice rejection here off of first presentation, you can see how my RR just doubles, right? So 7:15. I don't want to wait too long. I don't want to hold this for the open. Where to place? Oh, price is rejecting the upper half of the RTH gap. All right, this is what I'm going to do here. I'm thinking right now. Not an ideal, you know, price entry. Minor buy side above us. I'm going to wait a bit more. I do want to see it kind of go into first presentation here and give me a proper entry. Wait, guys. Even if we miss the move here, that's okay. Because if you catch it and it goes to here, for example, that's a 2-to-1. Okay, so be it. When we're all-time highs and we're trading pre-930 on a holiday, I do want to take bigger positions like 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1. So we're waiting. And like, if you miss like the 1-to-1 trade and you're like, oh, I should have taken a line. It's whatever, guys. It's just 1R. It's very little. It's not a lot. Wait for, not perfection, but close to perfection, where you're confident the price created its low, you're buying, you got a stop loss that is going to invalidate the idea. Like, if I'm wrong on this, then I'm okay. For example, like, you could go along like this with like a stop loss here, but imagine you get invalidated right there and price is that. You might enter in again. You're like, oh, and then price tags you out again. But if you have your stop loss at a level where you think it's going to get invalidated, like, for example, like down here, then you're going to watch price after that instead of getting back in. So larger stop losses, it's definitely favorable, especially for you. And again, just have it at an area where if this gets hit, my idea is wrong. Price right now, again, we're not really moving in a direction. We kind of did on the upside, but you can see here, price over the last three minutes, it is closing above the high of the RTH. And sorry, by RTH gap, I mean the high of the midnight opening range. It did reject it there on a 1 minute perspective, ever so lightly. I just want a bit more from price action. It might never even touch this first presentation after 7 a.m. We'll wait, guys. We'll wait. We're going to be patient here on today's stream. One shot, one kill. That's all we need. Nice little 3-to-1. I risk 500 per trade. If it's a good one, I'll risk a full risk of 500 per trade per account. So each account, again, is going to be aiming for a 1.5K target today. I'm not in the trade right now, guys. Here, let me only move it like that. I'm just sizing. That's all I'm doing. What's my RR going to be? Where is my stop going to be? And what that trade is going to look like? And there's going to be no target. It's just more of stop loss here. So again, see if we want to. Most likely my invalidation, if I were to get in here, like let's say if price drops back in here, rejects, my invalidation is going to be these lows here. Even though it's minor sell side liquidity, my assumption is that these fair value gaps and this opening range is going to hold price higher. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let it take me out and then I'll get in again after. But that's going to be my thesis here. Yes, again, there's divergence between ES and NQ, right? So NQ is creating higher highs here from a 1 minute perspective. ES still hasn't taken out this, basically the 657 high, which is down here. So there's definitely SMT happening between these two asset classes. Again, not shocking that it's a bank holiday today. Come on, price. Any day now. Price is pushing to the upside here. Here is, you know, it's technically a bearish order block at this point, right? What makes a bearish order block valid, right? You see a push to 2x of its displacement to the upside, and for me, that's a valid bearish order block, right? Not that that's enough to take a trade, okay? It's just something to look at here. All right, okay. We pushed into what here? Just above mean threshold of this wick here. Interesting. So again, looking at relative strength compared to other wicks and candles. All right, let's see it wanting to get into this area here and just preventing from breaking down. So it closed below, or right now it's trading to the low of this, you know, bullish fair value gap. And, you know, this, sorry, that's not a bearish order block. That's a bullish order block. How you use the midnight opening range? Yeah, good question. It's a concept that ICT. So midnight opening range, guys. So while price is doing its thing, we're not going to miss anything. Midnight opening range is a 30 minutes behind the low from the open. So 12 o'clock all the way till 12:30. Okay. So look at 12:30 and then you look at the highs and lows. So the high is at 12:05 and the low is there. What ICT looks at is it looks at basically it's a range. Like you're looking at the mean threshold, the high and the low for rejections and respection. And you look at the first presentation fair value up. It could be a level where price is more sensitive. So you can see here, midnight opening range, we got a fair value gap that sits on mean threshold. And technically this should hold a bit more weight than your traditional fair value gap. You can see here, since 12 o'clock, you know, respect the high, right? Respecting the low, the high. Again, it is kind of breaking outside of it, but you can see that there's a lot of respects happening at the low and the high and the mean threshold, even from a body perspective of the range. So using it to add confluence to your trade is something that you can do. I don't use it that much anymore, to be honest, but because we're at all-time high trading, I'm just missing things to trade off of. And I'm just looking for additional things that I can add that I know of that can possibly help frame a trade. So you can see here, right, how price is using that first presentation, which is within the range after midnight. And you can see here, it's kind of, you know, within it, you know, bouncing within it, you know, bodies are just sitting at mean threshold of this fair value gap. And then finally we broke to the upside, right? Like if price were to kind of come down and close below here, I'm anticipating that like it's going to drive lower, right? That's how I'm using, like use like any other range, draw quadrants and see how it respects those quadrants, the high, the low, the medium, the mean threshold and the individual quadrants within it. That's how you use the midnight opening range. Like any other range, it holds a bit more weight than like a random set of price action. Love the column. Yeah, play by play. LT and LT, I love your comment. Love the calm and collected play by play. If you're not calm and you're not cool, you're going to blow your accounts. That's it. And if you guys see me that I'm not cool and I'm frazzled, disconnect from the live stream because I'm in self-sabotage mode. So I try to prevent myself from being, because to be honest, I have my moments where you take a loss and then you take a revenge trade. And then right there, you have the option of closing down your charts and coming back tomorrow, or maybe in a couple of hours, going for a walk or continue trading. If you continue trading, most likely you'll blow your accounts. So that's that. We are waiting. price broke out, but it wasn't like a significant breakout. Again, like if you kind of look at the 1 minute price action here, like this is what it did basically. That's it essentially from a high level. There's no clear displacement. We were in a macro, right? The macro pushed price a bit higher. Price is using that upper range of that midnight opening range, you know, for a couple last candles. But again, is this, you could frame a long off it, but in my opinion, it's nowhere close to high quality. Nowhere close to high quality. Right? Where I would see a high quality trade would be, you know, here's, you know, the liquidity sweeps the downside. You know, price pushes up. Where would our breaker be? It would be somewhere here, right? Like all this here is a breaker. Like from this level. Stop loss. Okay, let's do this. So this is basically your breaker, right? Showing us rejections of this level and then taking a long off that, right? That I would like a lot. Can price go directly from here and just start shooting up forever? It could, right? But taking trades like this, they work out sometimes, but sometimes they don't. And you just have to create a favorable edge. The PV, what's PV? Stacked up moolah. PV, I don't know what PV is. I probably know, but I can't create that link. Power block? Let me know, Stack, what PV means. So, you know, price hovering on the upper side and not failing to break lower. Again, you know, bullish, but looking at, you guys look at the higher time frames. Again, there is, you know, not much to go off of. So this is all we have today. Just this and this. We might get a clean trade around 750, the next macro. I'm hoping. What is PP? Oh, and look at that, guys. The 1 minute candles are showing us technically garbage. We're still sitting on our hands. Nothing happened in the market. We're not stressing. Like, to be honest, right now, I'd be, if I was in a long here, and it might play out, I would be very stressed and anxious on this trade. Right? And I would be hoping that this level right here doesn't get broken to the downside. And if it does, then I'll be hoping these levels don't break. But then at that point, I'm like, I would wish I got in lower, assuming that that is like the low of the pullback before the push up. But again, guys, pre 930 trading, again, we could get something clean, or we could not. And we should be okay with both. And if we prevent a loss, then it's more capital for tomorrow, right, to trade off of. Or if we get a clean trade, we have way more capital to trade off of tomorrow. So, oh, pullback. Yeah, see, you know, so stacked out, you know, moolah, pullback. There you go. Common sense, what PP would stand for. We might not, or we might, but usually when we tag buy side liquidity and price is really printing, You don't want to see consolidation right after it, okay? You want to see price just continue popping higher. Like when price, if we manage to catch along and we get to this level here, you don't want to see price doing this after when it hits it. That would not be good. We want to see like max, just a couple, like micro consolidation, and then using this as rocket fuel to push higher. That's what we want to see when it hits this level, okay? Proportion block if you're an active trader. Yeah, technically, yeah. Yeah, Shrew's right here. It is a proportion block. And a PB is essentially, here's an order block. It pushes away, an order block trades into it, and then it propels away. So this would be the proportion block, if I'm not mistaken. I don't use them a lot, but this would be like a traditional proportion block. Part of me wants to just freaking go long here and feeling like fuck it, but that would be very irresponsible of me. And then imagine you go like you lose on a trade like that, like go into psychosis. So yes, it took out the relative equal highs, right? Right. There's, you know, technically like now we're more in sync than we were before, but yeah, we're still moving sideways. Like this is consolidation. Like this is absolute garbage. This is all consolidation here, guys. To be honest, and let's say it goes long from here. Guys, we like if there's a clean fair value gap here after consolidation and then we go back in, then we get it in the trade. Then we get in right there. Like, right. And we have your stop loss below consolidation. Like there's so many entries. Just don't FOMO into this trade. That ICT dude has, yeah. To be honest, ICT, the amount of stuff he produces is a lot. I've watched every single one of his videos, and his most recent one, he created this new PD array. It's called like the dollar or something like that, something weird. And honestly, at that point, I'm like, you know what, ICT, I'm not even going to backtest that. These defensive PD arrays that you've created, I have enough. Because once you guys start being profitable with ICT, just stop listening to ICT. You don't need him. Even following his act, sometimes he's like, okay, this is the draw. Sometimes he's wrong. Or it eventually is the draw, but like 5 hours later. You gotta be kidding me, man. All right. Random spike up to the upside, 433. Was this like news or something, or is this just like a random spike? Let's see. Financial juice. And there's two ways of me doing these live streams for you guys. Number one is like we just go hard at the market. Or number two is we take responsible trades. And it won't be a lot. And most of the time we're just watching price, but strike rates are going to be around 60 to 70%, right? So there's two options here. Depending on what you guys want to see, I think there's a lot of crazy traders out there that just take trades every like 5 minutes and go long, short, long, short. Emotional roller coaster. But my purpose here, I think, is to show you guys how to filter through proper trades, take the right trades, to stay cool and composed, because I think that's the profitable edge long term. That's going to be the solo. Yeah, solo. Opt out for responsible always. Yeah, it's. And to be honest, some of my buddies, they are higher time frame traders. Like they're not 1 minute like me. They trade on the 1 hour. And bro, they're really calm, cool and collect, because their stop loss, it won't get touched for hours. And I kind of envy them because I'm like, I have to be at the charts actively for 3 hours trading, and they just take a trade and they leave. But their trades happen so once or twice a week, because you have to wait for the hourly, the 15 minutes here. We can take, there's more opportunity, but the downside is you're at your charts for more. So I tried trading higher time frame. It didn't work out for me. Unfortunately, I found profitability at 1 minute. I wish I found profitability trading the 1 hour or higher time frames. And I'm stuck as a 1 minute trader. So even though like you're trading, to get back freedom, unfortunately for me, being a 1 minute trader, there's probably like 2 hours every day I have to kind of spend if I'm trading one session. Executing, that's good, man. Yeah. How many times, guys, did you know what the price is going to do, but you got a bit angsty and you took a trade, hit your stop loss, and then it went in your direction, right? So, yeah, you'll see my flaws on this channel. My bias is usually right. Sometimes I'm off in my execution just by a bit. And then sometimes impatient gets to me, but I realize usually when I live stream, you guys make me be patient. Like you guys force me to wait for the right position. And sometimes, my strike rate is higher on these streams than it is offline. It's funny. So, oh, hey, LT, nice to see you again. So, my bro. How do I log into my bro? Line demo. One sec, guys. Got an account with my funded futures. I just want to my funded family. I just want to log in because if it's a banger trade, I'm taking it on that account as well. I'll share my screen in a second, guys. Credentials. Okay. How does this work? Sorry, guys. You want that? Yeah, Tradevate should be working. Okay, perfect. I'm in. All right, we're connected to our live account. There you go. See here on the bottom, actually. Guys, see that sucks. All right, but we're logged into our broker. We can take trades now on NQ. One long here for a small scalp. Good luck, man. Luck stack. Stack. It could go long. Don't get me wrong. It's just like what I want to see in price is not there. Like look what price did here. It created this high, which it tagged this, and then it just dropped lower. So, we've been saying garbage price action. We haven't done anything, and price just moved sideways, guys. Like this is like everyone here who's been on your hands till now. Like congratulations. Like you guys advanced a lot. I think that's that's called discipline, not trading through this garbage. And this is true garbage, guys. So, and if we walk away with the stream and it ends like this, and we all set our hands, I think all of you are 99% better than anyone else who's trading the 930. So remember, guys, making money, you make money by not trading. Even though I want to show you guys, how's the FFF dashboard? Oh, really cool. Here, let me show you guys the FFF dashboard. My funded family. I found out about it on Thursday. log in. Video capture. All right, here is the dashboard. Hopefully I'll show you guys for me, but now there's nothing sensitive. I want you guys logging into my broker account now. Okay. Okay. Here is the this is basically my account, my single account that I have right now with my funded futures. Right now I'm doing just trading with them, just making sure that they're legit. They are legit because my buddy's getting 2.5K every 3 days from them. So the cool thing is about my funded family is it's a 1-day pass. You make 3,000 or you lose 2,000. So it's one clean trade, guys. It's, I think using my code, it should be like around like $85, $80. And within 1 day you pass, which is great. Super easy to pass. I recommend, honestly, because it's so cheap, full porting it and passing it within like 5 minutes. Unless you want to do it slowly, be my guest. But I'm a guy where I want my funded accounts quick and then I trade them slowly. But basically, this is you have to trade above 20 seconds, half your trades. So you can't do, right? Like this was like my passing day, 1 day. Here is basically, I went into, I tried passing it on 21st with one shot, didn't work. And then the next day it was one clean trade to the upside. So lost an account, got an account, right? So for $200, I got an account. And then, your trade count, your win rate, look at this, it was a quick full port 2-minute trade. Just make sure there's an edge against it. And then like this is what it is. It tells you what your most profitable day is, which is Friday. I passed this at 11 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, I got my account and then some other stuff. So this is basically the dashboard, guys. So this is going to be my new prop firm. Once I'm done with Top Step, these are my last accounts. After that, Top Step's too expensive. I don't like the rules. And even when it comes to passing, I prefer a 1-day pass than doing a 2-day pass. So that's my funded futures, guys. Sorry, not my future family. They're very similar to my funded futures, but they're different. They're new, they're really cheap, and that's why I like them. And my buddy, Fit for Trade, Fit to Trade. He's a streamer. He's been using them for like 2 to 3 weeks now, and he's like, that's where the money's at. Back in the day, I used to use my FundedNext a lot. They were really cheap. It was $55 for an account. Now it's $100, right? For that same account. So these guys, most likely, it's probably going to go up in the future as well. So that's why you milk them, you make your profits. If they go under, just go into the next firm, right? But Top Step is hella expensive. All right, guys, nothing is still happening. 7:44, macro in 6 minutes, guys. Hopefully this is where we see the magic. I do want to see price do something. If it doesn't, then you know what that means. We're moving into the 9:30. I'm not going to stop streaming. We're going to freaking make a trade today. So remember, the bodies tell the story, guys. All the bodies, they all closed within a while. What is this range here that we have? Guys, 8 ticks. Within 8 points in the last, how long is this? 36 minutes, it did nothing. Price did nothing. So let me remove some of this makeup here so it's a bit more clean. We're still staying above the midnight range. But again, that's just one PD array. We want multiple PD arrays. So that's that. If you guys are learning something, feel free to drop a like. I want to make sure that you guys are getting value out of this, right? Because at the end of the day, no one here should be tied down to another trader. All of you should have your own edge, your own trades, your own ideas. And eventually you guys should branch off into your own traders. and not watch anyone's live streams. That's the goal. And for you guys to get there, you guys can use crutches like this, but or if you're really disciplined, you can just watch something and have it not impact your trades. But there's again another push here to the upside. ES is at all-time highs. And look what it did. It just closed right below here. So ES hit all-time highs, guys. It's unfortunate price action, guys. But look where the bodies close. Remember, the bodies tell the story. What is the story telling us here? Telling us that it's consolidating. We are wicking higher. Like, does price want to get down to this minor sell side at this point? Like, that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, unless it's really stretching out its fingers here to go higher, but this is not good, guys. You know what was good, guys? Price action. Like, look at today's London. I was watching it like from my phone. I don't trade, but like, look at this. Like, this is like, you know, huge push up, pull back, huge push up. This is nice price action. And if you look at all these PD arrays here, look how nicely they're being respected. Like, this is proper. Like, this is what we want to see. Fair value gap form. Take this in your notes, guys. This is very important. When a fair value gap forms, you don't want to see the bodies reach mean threshold. This means that they're bullish, very bullish. Look, push higher. Look at this fair value gap here. This one, again, like you can see exhaustion, right? Price is dipping below mean threshold. Exhaustion, push up higher. And then this is where you kind of see, you know, the slowdown here, right? But early on, like look at this fair value gap here. Technically it's still there, right? So that's not as clean, but you can see, you know, pushes down and then immediately goes back up, right? And then all the bodies stay in the upper half of the fair value gap. So grade your fair value gaps at least to 3 levels, right? Your high, your low, and your mean threshold, and look at that mean threshold and how the bodies close. That's everyone's takeaway here. Like, this is like, out of the 5 things that made me profitable, this is one of them. It's how bodies, not wicks, bodies close in fair value gaps. Man, NQ and ES, you guys are disappointing today. Yeah, this was a tease. Okay, theoretically, if it pushed higher, didn't take these highs out. So if it went higher, created a fair value gap, went back into it, gave us like a nice test, we're going to push higher. But now we can see price. Like, if price gets below first presentation, I might be looking for a short, to be honest, at this point. Like, it's really, it's failing to go higher here. So maybe, just maybe, I might take something like this. This is considered a high risk trade, but there's logic to it, right? There's prices, you know, it's really failing to go higher. ES took out higher time frames. Huge wick to the upside. We're having here displacement now. Let's see how it closes, but it looks like displacement's coming to the downside. Let's get below these key levels here, and then we're going to be attacking these lows, right? That's, again, it's before price does something, have an idea of what it could do, and then if it does it, take the trade. Don't react to, oh, bearish candle, I'm going short. This is not what you want to do, right? Oh, it's a 5-to-1. Do not do this. It might make maybe one really good trade where you make a shitload of money, but then you keep doing it and then you lose all your accounts. So yeah, that's that. Come on, price, give us something. So look at ES now. It took all-time highs out. You don't pick out highs, but it has these relative equal lows here below us. You know, NQ was struggling. It didn't hit its highs yet. We have something called SMT right now, SMT divergence. Finally, price is touching first presentation after 7 o'clock. So this, out of all the fair value gaps, this is my most favorite one right here, okay? I'm very picky about them. I'm not going to be looking at, like, every single fair value gap that forms in here, I don't care about. Fair value gaps and consolidation mean absolutely nothing. Never use them. Look for the ones that displace, that move outside. To be honest, technically, this fair value gap here, it's a bit nicer. There's a bit more volume to it, but it's in an area where price painted up and down to the left of it. So in my opinion, it's not something I'm going to put a lot of weight to. I could be looking at it and seeing, hey, how's price going to react to this? But it'd be nicer to see like a candle close below here. And that fair value gap I would use is that's like the displacement fair value gap. So this one's okay. It's not the best, but this one I like a lot, right? The first presentation, first fair value gap after 7 o'clock, first fair value gap after 6 o'clock. To be honest, we don't like it that much, so we removed it. Oh, it's actually right here. So that's that. If anyone has any questions about anything I talked about, feel free to drop a question or a comment. But that's the biz. You know, right now, what we want to see is like we kind of pushed up higher once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Failure. Sell side liquidity tagged, minor sell side, which is right here. I'm not going to draw it out. I'm going to delete it instantly. That's a minor sell side right there. And then if price is bearish here, we don't want to see it break above mean threshold from a body perspective, right? We don't want to see it go above this bullish order block, and we want to see it continue going lower. That's the response we want to see. We might not get it. We're at all-time highs. Remember, shorts guys are you're going against the entire trend of the market. So just be cognizant of that. This body of the candle, close that mean threshold. We're pushing down lower. Which ones do I end up using? The first one after 9:30, and I look at the first presentation after 6 and 7. I stopped using midnight, but because I have nothing to go off of right now, I'm using it today. But I use that and I couple it with relative equal highs and lows and market structure. It's very important you don't use it on its own. And number 3, you're using it within the macro. So right now we're within a macro. Look at this, guys. Magically at 750, we're seeing displacement. Like we're seeing a bit more movement. Okay. All right. So we're watching right now in 5 seconds how this candle closes. I took out these relative equal lows. Failed to push higher. Look at the bodies here. They're closing at mean threshold. So we're still waiting, guys. And look at that, guys. If you guys taken a trade in the past hour, you'd be at break even, or you'd probably lose money with your stop loss. So everyone here, so far, you guys won. But like, you know, stack that, you know, moolah. It's eventually you kind of have a sense for it, but it's ultimately using fair value gaps. First presentation, they sit on a quadrant, like an RTH quadrant, regular trading hours gap, on a daily wick quadrant. Those are your high probability fair value gaps. That's the ones I end up using in the right time. When all those 4 things kind of stack up together, you have really strong trades. And when you're trading a lot of capital, let's say 20 Apex accounts, you want to wait for these really good high probability trades. So this is interesting here, guys. 4 push higher, 1 to the downside, 1 into this fair value gap here. Technically, to be honest, if I'm fading the market, it would be something like that. And I would assume that it's going to break through all these levels. So you know what? Let me... It's so high risk here, guys, taking the short. You know, shift to the downside, respecting this decent fair value gap. Right now, the bodies are closing above this gap right here. And then like you kind of have to create assumptions. Like if it respects this, then it's going to break this, and then it's going to break that. Okay, I see Confluence stack. What about the New York session PM1? I've seen some reactions. Yeah, the New York one is great. The 9:30 is great. The 9:30 first presentation. Or is there anything I can help you with, like a work I can do for $20? I'm not sure. I know not to ask, but you can help me $20. I buy one CFD prop firm. I'm finally seeing this my setup. Okay. So here's my advice. 013x. You have to buy the lottery ticket to win the lottery. So what does that mean? It means that if you're doing well in demo and you want to go into prop, you have to figure out how to find $90. Cleaning driveways, mowing lawns, shoveling snow, depending where you live. You got to do that. That's step one. If someone hands you this $80, you get a free account, you're going to blow, man. You're going to blow the account because you won't have respect for the account. You won't have, the work wasn't put in. And every single trader that is trained for full time, I'm pretty sure they did not buy their account from someone. I will be doing giveaways. Once I reach 1,000 followers, I'll be doing giveaways. And then I think in every single stream, we'll give away, one account through a draw or something. But I will be doing that in the future. But when it comes to like asks like this, silly, man. And then like I'm trying to be nice, but it's a bit of a silly ask. All right, I think price is going to go down here. That's going to be my bet here. 9:30, 8 o'clock. We are inverting here. Let me, relative equal lows below us. Guys, I'm thinking right now, if it breaks, right now it's entering first presentation after 7 o'clock. 6-1 if I were to take it right now. This is going to be probably my trade here that I'm going to take. I want to see a closure below mean threshold of first presentation. If that happens, I'm going in for the short for honestly a 1-to-1. I'm not in love with 1-to-1s, but if price does this, if then I trade. Because I'm not in absolute, I'm going to do 50% risk. So I'm going to risk 250 on this trade, not a full R. And I'm going to see if it wants to invert this or if it's going to push higher from here. I'm on the right contract. I'm looking at the bodies right now. I'm staring at the bodies here on the 1 minute. And I'm seeing, does it want to give me that confirmation there that it wants to break this level and start pushing lower? Because if it breaks this, I think it's going to go down lower to these lows here. A bit too smooth. I'm fading the entire market, guys. So hence, that's why I am going to be risking a bit lower, but I'm waiting for that closure. Okay. This is the most important thing. What's your strategy? What's my win rate? It's 55%. And my average RR is 2.5-to-1. So I'm right just a bit more than half the time. So my RR is not super high, but my risk reward is usually higher. Hence, that's why when it comes to taking trades close to 1-to-1, I take half risk, and then I scale in if I can. But my strike rate, if I'm very picky, I can get it to 60%, but right now it's sitting at 55. And you can make money having a strike rate of 55. Those are good numbers. Yeah, thanks. I think 55 is low. I really wish I was in the 70% range, but again, around 55 is where I'm at. I'm right half the time. And see, and it's a weird philosophy. You only have to be right half the time to make money. You just have to, don't cut your trades short, manage your stop loss, and let your trades run. Like if we grab longs today, guys, there's going to be no stop loss, or sorry, there's going to be no profit target. We're just going to hold it to a maximum level until it retraces, right? So, yeah. You can get payouts with 50%, even 45%. Below 45%, I'd be concerned, guys, as you have to have pretty large trades. But if you guys are 45% higher, 65, you guys, and if you guys are above 60%, you guys are really good traders. So look at these bodies here, guys. They're staying above first presentation after 7 a.m. I'm watching it because if it breaks this, it's going to have to, do a bit more damage to the downside. But for us to get into a trade, it's going to have to be there. I'm watching right now. If all these bodies sit in the up end, honestly, maybe the long might be the move there, right? But I'm just not liking these lows here. They're too smooth. I need to do some disruption. Okay, this body is closing in 30 seconds here. Let's see in 30 seconds what we got. When we get a closure below mean threshold, I'll go in. Okay, still waiting. I needed to close. Stop loss is going to be above this bullish order block. 1 second. There you go. Failed closure here. Price is struggling to break this fair value up to the downside. I am liking this less and less, to be honest. To be honest, longs now look good at this point, and I'm going to take the long here off of this presentation. So I went long here. Look at that. Just based off of those reactions, that's going lower. There you go. Quick bias switch. Not enough margin. LOL. I went on full margin here. Entries here. To be honest, this is going to, like this, 995. Oh, it's right before 996. Or it's right before 300. Interesting. My stop loss is going to be right there. All right, you know what? Screw the short. I don't think it's going to go there. I'm going to go long here. That rejection, that displacement up, that was kind of the confirmation that I was, looking for. And if I'm wrong about this, so be it. But this is it's going to be a 4-to-1 essentially. I got in right there. I got in at 7.6. 7.625. Okay. Let's see. Again, risking 400 here on this trade. I'm with the trend. Again, I did want to see price go below there, but because it respected that fair value at first with the New York, with that rejection, with that displacement to the upside, this is telling me interim that we may be going up, but we'll see here. That's where we're in. And now we just wait and see if our bias and our idea is right. But the confluence is there. We consolidated, we broke lower. Shift in market structure technically here. Took out all these, bearish order blocks, pushed to the upside. What would I rate this, guys? I rate this like a B trade. I'm not super, like, this is for me a trade that I wouldn't say it's 50-50. I think it's like 60-40 here, but I'm liking the RR here, so I will take it. Is it normal to blow a couple of prop evals in the beginning when you move to a demo? Yeah, dude, it's 100%. 100%. It's because you're risking real money. It's the emotions there. Everything. It's trading changes the moment you start doing prop, and then when you start doing real with real money, it changes again. It's psychologically. But think of it as fake money. Think of it as you're still trading a demo. Again, the negative confluence here, guys, is this right here. This is the only thing. If this was in here, I'd be a lot more confident. But I'm assuming that price isn't going to get here. It's going to be holding on like at this level here, and it's going to push higher because of this. Like respecting the upper half of midnight opening range, first presentation. Again, I wanted to kind of slice below, but it didn't do that. It did the complete opposite thing, and we're going to be holding it till right before 300. So it's basically almost a 3-to-1 here. No, I'm not going to get excited. Even when you're trading, you have to stay cool, calm, collect, even when the trade's going against you, you're like in your favor. Because it could just reverse here and just take me out for -1. So again, it's just an idea. It's just the trade. We can be right. We can be wrong, but the edge here, technically, like we're within a macro, all-time highs. We're going long. We're not going short. And I just hope that this pulls, because all of you guys have been patient for like an hour and a half with me. So, oh, the ba 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 da. It's like the FIFA song, right? When like everyone in the crowd goes ba 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 da, and everyone's just cheering on, like, you know, whoever's playing on the field. Can't go to FIFA. You know, I can't go to FIFA this year, but something that I want to go. So there's two options here, guys. You let this rip. You know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna partial off 50% here, and we're gonna see how high we can pull this. So 995. We're gonna sell. I'm gonna sell 15 minis here, so 50%. And there is gonna be, and the target is like my real. This is gonna be a partial here. So 50% partial. Okay. Once it gets here, break even, and then like I'll see. But remember, there's a huge psychological level here. This is 3,000. Technically, stop loss can be moved. I'm gonna move my stop loss right there. Sorry guys, I'm talking a bit faster here. So I removed 25% risk here. Okay. I don't want to see price going back here. Like there's if price goes back to this low here, it's over. It's done. Not interested. It's basically at mean threshold of this first presentation at 7 o'clock. 50% partial at relative equal highs. This here, I want to see price stay above this fair value gap. I don't want to see it go below. Here's our bearish order block. This is a bullish order block here. And again, we can still be wrong here. It's looking good so far, right? But it has to continue. We're in the macro. I still have these lows below me. I'm letting it breathe. Technically, stop loss can be put there, but I'm just gonna leave it below this, you know, this order block here at 761.50. This is no good. Not liking that pullback, but again, let's see if this is like if it wants to hold price. That was not a good, healthy pullback. It's going to this bearish order block, bullish order block here. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it. I'm hoping that see, I'm using the word hoping now. That's directly correlated to my confidence here, but this is that push there was price. You better hold here. This price action here, it doesn't look good, to be honest, guys. But again, my risk right now is, you know, 75% of what it usually is. And again, I'm going to see the upper half of the RTH gap here is going to hold. But this here, not looking great. Okay, I'm out. So unfortunately, it happens. The push higher, and then it just collapsed lower. Okay, almost. And to be honest, right now, if this inverts, I think minor sell side is going to be attacked here. So we are going to do a little classic reverse-a-roo here. Let's see how this body closes here. I wanted to close in the lower half here. Okay. I'm going for the short here. Relative equal lows, I think, are the draw on liquidity. All right. Tough PA, guys. Tough PA. One and a half to one. Again, not loving my RR here, but it did the damage to the upside. Again, it failed again to close higher, and I think these relative equal lows here, minor sell side, is going to be the target. Nice slip with the trend. Yeah, guys, and it's just, again, body's closing still within first presentation. Again, I want to see this. Like, again, final boss here. If it closes below here, I think it's a sure shot down. But it has to continue now with speed and direction. It can't stall. It has to keep going. What did I get at? 9,650. Yeah, I was reactionary there, but again, it's this risk here was, I think it's gonna, play out of it actually hitting. And if it doesn't and it goes sideways, then that's called holiday trading, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1.5 to 1 here, so decent RR. I wouldn't go below 1.5 to 1. That's the absolute lowest. To be honest, 2 to 1 is my lower threshold, but again, we want to see price here continuing. We want to see it. Once it takes out this minor sell side here, it has to continue pushing fast and hard. Okay. So here's minor sell side. Minor sell side liquidity. Could you imagine it just freaking this starts going up again? Possibility, guys. But again, I think there's like a 60% chance it just drops from here versus going up. But again, it's again, this is not considered an A+ trade. It's just market is heading towards smooth lows to disrupt before maybe the move higher. So we'll see. We will see. We'll see, Gypsy. Not in love with my stop loss either, being right here, but again, it's above this bearish or this bullish order block which inverted. It's above the midnight highs. Right now, the candles here are staying within this first presentation. The bodies here, they are hovering towards the lower half here, which is good. And again, like the moment it breaks this level here, it's gonna shoot up like crazy. But I want this to hold here. Come on, revenge trade, work out. In my humble opinion, guys, there's a push lower. Sell side is this level's for sure going to get taken in a sec. The sell side. Moving my stop loss to above first presentation here. My risk right now is 30% of what it was. I don't want to see it go back to this level. If it does, I'm wrong. Okay. So again, reducing risk again to over 50%. So I'm risking right now $180. Right. And I was risking 500. So my risk right now is at 30%. And right now it's one of two things. It hits minor sell side. So let me just make sure I have the right level. 956 here. 956.75. Okay. Come Come on, price. Come on. Be normal price. Algo, push price down. There you go. Nice little gap lower. I like that. Entering the lower half of the midnight opening range, breaking down to the downside. To be honest, right now, stop loss is almost at zero. I have $97 at risk. To be honest, you can partial right here. This is a really good partialing spot. I'm not going to do it because the R is so little. It's just 1.5 to 1. I'm not going to, you know, trim this any lower than I already did. But that might be a good partialing spot. If you guys are in shorts, again, disclaimer. Nothing here is financial advice. And then we want to see these levels support price to downside. So it might pull back here. But again, minor sell side here is in full attack. If it takes me out here, guys, I would be shocked. I would be flabbergasted. And it's a possibility because it's a bank holiday today. But let's see if it wants to take us out for, I'm at 15% risk right now, 1.5, 15%, almost nothing. My stop loss is at 91. You're gonna be really safe with your stop loss. I think right there is a better spot. Look at that. Nice lower rejection of the midnight opening range low. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, feel free to drop a like and a follow. I'm gonna try streaming as much as I can pre 9:30, but life gets busy sometimes. But I'm gonna try to commit here. And then we just need a little small push lower. Come on. Come on. Created this. It even hit this low, yeah. It took out no sell side yet. Same with ES, no sell side. You know what? I'm gonna make this breathe a bit more. See, now with my stop loss here, like I'm, you know, full confidence that like if it hits that, I'm wrong. I just increase my risk. But usually once you move your stop loss, you shouldn't move it. But again, there's a fair value gap here that formed to the downside. We do not want to see bodies close above mean threshold here, okay? We want to see price being heavy. 818, we're almost at the next macro, which is 830. Keep going, price, keep going. Today, guys, if I were to rate price action from 1 to 10, it was like a 4 or a 3. So if this was hard to read, guys, this was hard to read. There's nothing easy about this price action. Right? Price right now is pushing back up into this fair value gap here. Remember, we don't want to see the bodies close above mean threshold. If they do, the percent chance of this dropping to this level, it just becomes lower and lower. There you go. Nice close in the lower quadrant of this bearish fair value gap, which is known as a SIBI. Sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Come on, hit profit target so I can close the trade. So I can finish trading for today. And I didn't take the trade on my future family account, but it is what it is. I'm probably going to connect everything using Tradesyncer just because it prevents things like this where you take trades on one account and not the other. Highly recommended. I used to use it in the past, but I'm going to start it up again using Tradesyncer and start scaling out that way. Come on. Again, if you guys have anxiety right here, you guys shouldn't. Like, there should be no anxiety right now. This is normal for price to create. And then a fair value gap and trade in. It's completely normal. And you know what? If it does this, whatever, you're wrong. But stick to your edge. Stick to your bias. Stick to your plan. Don't choke the trade. Like your stop loss, it shouldn't be going down there. there's a chance that it might just tag you out and drop lower. Just let it go. Let the trade go. You've reduced risk already right now by what? By 60, 70%. So like for me, it's I lose 150 or I make 800. It's one or the other, right? If price wants to take me out, then so be it. It's just being funny, and that's it. If you want to be more conservative, you can move it to break even. But in my opinion, I would be at the high end here of this bearish fair value gap. There you go. There's a push lower. Now I'm at break even. See? Now I don't want to see price going back above this high, because if it is, it might, disrupt me. So I'm fully break even right now in my trade. You gotta be kidding, man. Why don't you want to drop? Huh. To be honest, guys, I'm kind of shocked that that we haven't at least taken this low out yet. Like if it took out this low and then it did this, I understand. We took out, liquidity and we're pushing up, but we really want to see just price just move lower now. Yes is looking bearish, right? I don't see anything bullishness yet. Like, it did technically create some. Are these relatively equal? They are. But we'll see. Attempt too short. Hopefully it worked. Here, I am going to make my trader breathe a bit more. I just don't want to choke it. $71. I got $71.25. Right, $100 risk. And the reason why I'm doing this is just because, there's a really big chance that it's just going to wick me and go lower. So again, using proper stop loss techniques when it comes to fair value gaps. Again, the risk is right now it's like an 8-to-1 trade. I have $100 in risk for $800 in profit. I do want to see this start pushing lower here. We don't want to see mean threshold here break. Still not breaking, which is good. But guys, it's we want to see price here move lower. Sorry, I have the wrong levels. So right now, if on you gotta be kidding me. Okay, guys. Price, like what was that, man? Down $120. With a random spike to the upside. Did Trump make a post, guys? Guys, we were so close to profit target there. It didn't even tag this level. Like, guys, this is tough PA. But look at that. I got into 2 trades. My total loss for the day is $400, which is less than 1 risk. And I participated in possible moves. It's just this bullshit. This is bullshit price action, guys. I'm just looking at Trump, of course. So we got trumped out. Talks with Iran proceeding nicely. Oh, Trump, couldn't you just shut up for 5 more minutes? So when it comes to trading, guys, I think right now is really hard with these Trump candles. Nothing can stop price from exploding randomly when Trump tweets. And it is what it is. Just stick to your edge. If I saw this trade, I'd probably take it again. But It is what it is. Freaking Trump, man. Freaking Trump. So if you guys are learning something, feel free to drop a like, guys, on the stream. But I can't believe Trump got us on our stream. This is bullshit. But it is what it is. Like right now, my emotion, like if I were to report how triggered I am, it's like a 1 out of 10. Maybe a 2, because I'm really happy with how I managed my stop loss, my risk. I let my trades breathe. I didn't break my rules. Everything made sense, right? So, and if you continue these positive trading techniques, even if Trump tweets or not, who cares about Trump, right? It's just a small loss, right? That is ultimately something that we just need to deal with. So like, look at where we're at right now. We have Trump news that talks with Iran are proceeding nicely. Now we got minor sell side below us. We got these relative equal lows below us. So to be honest, I don't know what price is going to do now. I can see it doing 2 ways. This could have just been a random, let's call it a Trump news driver, and then it drops lower, or it basically starts moving upwards because of Trump and leaving the sell side liquidity here. Yeah. But all in all, guys, all in all. So we can label this here as Trump candle. Okay. I'm watching right now. You got slipped? No, Top Step is really like so. The good thing about Top Step, but again, I'm going to be finishing with them soon, unless they move me to live. Is slippage is very little, so I didn't get slipped there. Yeah, very minimal slippage for me. Let's see what Troops is saying here. There's been 4 large upwick to around 990 since. Yeah, you're right. There has been all these right here. Yeah, we're watching those. It's like price is like trying to extend its fingers, but it's failing. And that's what kind of gave us. And once it failed here, like we really thought it would push from here, and it did, but it collapsed lower. And then once that did, that's for me bearish. Bears all around. And we tried catching that short to the downside, but it just didn't work out. But in my opinion, I'm still extremely happy with what I showcased you guys today on proper trading. So I think sell side's gonna get freaking attacked now. Trump candles, fair value gap is being broken to the downside. Macro in 1 minute. Technically, this is what I think price might do. It might use the Trump fair value gap that he created, and price just drives lower to minor sell. There's just too much sell side below. There's too much smoothness below us. This has to get disrupted. You know what? We're going to close in 3 seconds. I really want to short the market, guys. I'm shorting. And if I'm wrong here, I'm wrong here. This is just, I'm expecting price to take out this liquidity here. 374. Again, it's trading around Trump news and Trump candles. Do not take this trade. But again, I'm expecting this to invert and price to take out. This all here is way too smooth. All these levels here, way too smooth. Should invert all these levels here. My stop loss is fairly safe. It's a 1-to-1. I don't like 1-to-1s because my strike rate's around 55%. I wouldn't be profitable at all, but I do think that price here has a 70% chance of just driving down to this minor sell side liquidity, which it failed to do. It teased us, broke up higher, took out a bunch of sell stops here, and then just drove lower. And that's the thesis here. Again, guys, now it's holiday trading plus Trump tweeting, and he treated bullish news. But again, I'm trying to see if I can fade this and push price down to sell side liquidity, because again, I would never trade against this price action here. This is all too smooth here. I'm going to go to break even if it does take out these relative equal lows here right before the news. But I am expecting for price to drop here. And if not, then guys, I'm going to call it a day here. If it doesn't hit my profit target here, then I'm offside. There you go. Price is moving in the right direction again for the third time today. Swear to, if Trump tweets again right now, I'm going to lose it. $56.75, $56.75. Okay, we do have, there's the first presentation. All right, looking good, price going down here. I'm liking how the bodies here are closing nowhere close to the mean threshold of first presentation after midnight. We're below Trump's fair value gap. Triple lows below us, 5 lows below us. It's all too smooth, guys. And price is moving to target. Now, is it gonna screw us over like it did twice today? Drive price, just drive, go lower. There's no reason for you to go up. Fading Trump news, candles always high probability. It is, man. It is. That is a strategy. Boom. There you go, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. And look at this, guys. We ended up break even, right? Small loss here, small loss there. And this was a 1-to-1. It wasn't even a high RR trade, and I'm a break even. So, and again, 0% triggered. But do you remember how I said, guys, like these levels here, they're too smooth? Guys, everyone here, take this analogy. And if you guys like it, just let me know by dropping a like. When you guys go to a lake, like you guys go camping and you guys go to a lake and you guys see smooth waters, what do you want to do? You want to pick up a rock and you just want to create ripples. You want to disturb the smoothness. And this is what price does. This is what NQ does. This is like one of the 10 things that made me more profitable than I am, is this concept. And this is what ICT said. Like you want to take that rock, that pebble, and you want to disturb. And this is what price does. Where's the smoothness? It's here. It's here. It's here. This is all too smooth. And sometimes price does leave it. It happens rarely, but most of the time it attacks it. And what we did is Trump bullshit tweet took us out, so be it. And then once it started breaking all of these fair value gaps to the downside, we put our stop at a reasonable level above first presentation after 7 o'clock, above the Trump fair value gap. That's funny. Trump fair value gap. and then we attack these smooth lows. So that's a strategy there. And if you guys are struggling, my recommendation is, unless you guys see relative equal highs or lows, don't trade. And if you know that price is going to go there, then that's when you trade. Trust me, this is the easiest ICT concept that you guys can implement. When you see something like this, just target it. It looks like support, but it's not. It's a target of liquidity, guys. Thanks, Truve. Oh, man. If Trump tweeted once again and price did this, I think I would have lost it. But anyways, we're at break even for the day. And again, to be honest, with these conditions, I'm happy. And sometimes I ask myself, if we were to take a trade before this, right? Like, do you guys see any trades? I don't. And usually hindsight, I'm like, I should have taken this trade. I should have taken that trade. But here, I think all the possible trades we've taken, every single one, right? So there's minor sell side here. There's a candle here without a body. Do I like this? Right? It's a target. I'm not in love with it. It's not relatively equal, but price might be heading down that way. It's currently going into this 1 hour fair value gap. Right? So let's look at the one. You know what? I'm not going to show you guys the 1 hour. There's not much information on higher time frames right now. But again, it might be moving to this level here. But I don't see a trade short right now. Like, there's no trade short right now. But, you know, gun to my head, I think it's going to go to minor sell side liquidity here. We have first presentation after 6 a.m. here. Okay. I'm watching this. And then ultimately, like, what do we want to see today? Let's think of some scenarios. Number one, at 9:30, is the price going to push higher? So I'm going to scrunch these charts here. Right? Like, we have a smooth high here, right? It could. Price could also push lower and close lower because it's a bank holiday. So right now, I'm not convicted in any direction. Even though that we took some trades, we had short-term conviction of what price wants to do. We were right here. Trump messed this up. We were right here again. And here again, we were right initially to the upside, but just price exhaustion. Clearly didn't want to go up higher, and that's when we flipped bias. So right now, we're watching price, and we're going to do some minute-by-minute candle reading. And you know what, ES? We're going to make you smaller. You're not important. There is nothing on ES that I'm interested about. But looking at NQ, right, what do we have here? We got minor sell side. Price right now is digging into first presentation. What we want to see is the bodies close, you know, on the lower half. And then we want to see kind of use it as resistance and push lower. Once it tags minor sell side, right? Like, where is it going to go? I can go to mean threshold of this 1 hour for value gap. Like, if I was in a short, this would be like the last possible level I want to get off at. But kind of moving lower, again, it's just, you're going against all-time high trend. Okay. Look at this nice rejection after first presentation. Let's see how it closes in 50 seconds. That's the most important thing. How does price close? Do not look at candles when they're forming. It might throw you off. But 6 a.m. first presentation, nice little rejection so far. If it closes above, this could be the low, guys. Or better yet, if I go to regular trading hours, this is crazy. All right. On Friday, we closed here. Okay. 29,560. And we're opening up here. Somewhere here, guys. I think price is like around like 950, if I'm not mistaken. So if we look at this range here, roughly, that's going to be something that's called the RTH gap, regular trading hours gap. And this is a very strong statistic. And if you guys apply it to your trading, it's going to give you an edge. This is free info here. there's a 70% chance that price is going to want to move to the mean threshold within the first 30 minutes. Okay. So at the open, I'm going to be looking at two biases. Number one, we're going to drop here. And that'd be pretty cool. Like we fill in half of the range that we opened up over the night. And that's going to be a clean trade. Price would be crazy if it takes out these smooth. But see this, guys? This is all smooth lows. Okay. But we're in all-time highs, and we have to assume the price is going to continue pushing up higher. But again, if you're fading the market at open, this is like a bias with technicals behind it, right? Price might not even break. Now let's add some quadrants here. Price might not even, if price doesn't break this level, the highest quadrant, it means that most likely it's bullish. Like if price really fails, if it does something like this in the morning session, we might go higher. And that 30,000 mark on NQ, it's definitely a level that it's going to want to attack, right? So we're going to have to really look and analyze price and see what it wants to do. But those are like the two narratives. And then now, knowing all this, we're going to go back into ETH, electronic trading hours. And again, mean threshold is somewhere around here. We don't know where it's going to be because we have to open up at 9:30, but just do be aware of that. The price, it can do one of two things. It's going to drive higher like a maniac. It could consolidate because it's a bank holiday. It's a weird day, guys. I know. Or it can drive lower and close around mean threshold. So knowing this three, you have to create a narrative of current price action and where it can possibly go. So you can see here, we created that high, the exhaustions, we created a story around it. We thought it would go higher. It didn't. It went lower. We were right. We made some money off it. Worst case scenario, you broke even if you attempted it twice like I did. Now you can see first presentation, it's holding up nicely. Again, this is just one small PD array. But if there was more to it, and like, let's say like there's relative equal highs, we just took out liquidity, and then we kind of used this, that would have been a nice long, right? But because I did something like this, again, got into my head, it can, go. I can't even pick direction at this point. So that's kind of something that you guys can look at. But all in all, let's see. There's one more macro here at 950. Sorry, at 850. It's gonna be the last macro, guys. I'm gonna hop off soon. I'm mentally exhausted. If your thinking since 6:30 till now was similar to mine, and you guys took the partial losses but the full win, and you guys broke even, you guys are going to kill it as traders in the long run. You guys will make a lot of money because this is tough. If you guys can make it in tough conditions, trust me, when conditions are easy and it's printing, you guys will make a shitload of money. Okay. So honestly, guys, even if today's a break-even day, as it is for me right now, it's a huge win because this here is Chop City, and I lose in tops Chop City. And I know a lot of my fellow traders trade in Chop City. If you guys have any questions about anything I talked about, I'm really trying to give you guys an edge in the market so you guys can apply it without even watching me or looking at me. Let me know in the comments because I'll stick around for 16 more minutes. We might have one more trade. We'll see. But when it comes to the open, we're at a 500 point upside RTH gap. So ultra bullish. Question is if the market's going to fade or if it's going to print higher. And to be honest, I don't know. And sometimes, and if we don't know, we don't trade. We wait for little hints, little breadcrumbs that NQ drops. And my coffee got cold because it got so exciting with these trades. So again, if you guys aren't making consistent profits with one account, do not copy trade. That Tradesyncer that I have on the top left, do not even try to buy more than one account. Just focus on one. It keeps the stress low. It keeps anxiety low, and you trade better. Look at that, guys. 100% Trump tweeted right now. Was that a Trump tweet, guys? I'm refreshing right now. This happened at 8:45. An insane candle to the downside. How many points is that? It's 18. It's 18 points. It's relatively it's small, but relatively it's large to what we saw. I'm just refreshing financial juice. Let's see. Low liquidity market, hard to have any conviction and direction. Maverick, you're absolutely right, man. Today is one of the hardest days to trade. Bank holidays. PaperBet.io. Where did you learn to trade? Looking forward to a good course, but a lot of scams, in my opinion. Okay. I'll tell you guys where I learned how to trade. Over the last 10 years, I spent over $20,000 in mentorships. And a lot of them was, I wouldn't say it's a scam, but it was a waste of money. And I found profitability watching ICT. Okay. So ICT, all of this stuff is free. I don't think you should be paying any influencer or trader for learning how to trade. They should be making enough money to give the information out for free and to help community. I think that's the only approach that there is when it comes to trading. ICT, use him as a source. Start with this 2022 mentorship and then move to 2023, 2024. It's a lot of hours. My recommendation is, guys, take aside 1 hour every day, like right before bed, 9 to 10, watch one video or half a video, because some of them are really long, and take notes. And while you're doing that, do a bit of back testing. And within a year to a year and a half, I know it sounds really long, but it's how I found profitability. It's the only way to do it properly. Bro, I will do. Nice, man. 350 times 5 accounts. Big money, man. 1.5K. Dude, you've made more than someone that works minimum wage, at least here in Canada, full time. So use VWAP. To be honest, I don't use VWAP. I know of VWAP, but it's something I'll never go into. So answering your question, PaperBet.io, there's a lot of free stuff on ICT. There's a lot of, in my opinion, good streamers out there that you can use them as a guide, as a bias. But ultimately, guys, you guys have to put in the work and you guys have to be learning. I try to give you guys as much here as I can on my live stream for free on things that just work for me, right? First presentations, relative equal highs, trading within macros. Those are like my big 3 takeaways from the thousands of hours that I studied ICT. So hopefully that kind of helps you make sense. I know maybe in the future I might have like if I create some courses, I'll just drop them out for free, guys, so you guys can learn something. And like, you know, my $3,000 of 3,000 hours of ICT and X amount of hours, maybe that might help. But to be honest, the only true way to learn is follow someone that knows how to trade. Don't pay for a mentorship. Do not do it, guys. Use that money for prop firms. And that's the way to do it. Yeah. And then right now, guys, like there's a lot of good prop firms out there, but the one that I'm liking the most right now, and I'm starting off as of end of last week, is my keep messing this up. Funded Futures Family. Really cheap 1-day pass with my code DOM. It's below $90. And you guys can get funded in 2 hours. Just one clean trade. That's all you need. Either you make 3,000 or you lose 2,000. It's very easy to make 1.5. So any of these trades would have passed today if I traded with max leverage, which is going to be 5 contracts if it's going to be the 50K account. So my friend Fit for Trade, he's a good trader. I like him a lot. You guys can search up his YouTube. He's pulling out $2,500 per account every 3 days. And over the last week and a half, he did $7,500 on freaking one account. So he's been trading the bullshit Asia sessions, which just print up in one direction. So if we had conditions like this in the morning, we would have made a lot of money. But unfortunately, the conditions that we have here in North America are a bit different. All right, guys, look what we did here. Going back into the biz. Congratulations on everyone that made money. I took trading. Let's see I will do yes. I took trading with the pros for the bases, but I've learned more from my favorite free streamers on YouTube. By the way, I love Tradesyncer. You love Tradesyncer? Cool, man. Tradesyncer, guys. Tradesyncer is the best syncer that exists. And if you guys are playing full price for it, you guys shouldn't. So the Tradesyncer is great. You take a trade on one account using TradingView, and then it just copies the rest. Then when you close this account, it closes the rest. So you're only worried about trading one account. So again, but your own caveat, if you guys are inconsistent, do not get more than one account. Play it safe. Do not copy trade. Trust me on this, guys. Okay, first presentation. Look, huge. Wait, so was there Trump news? There was. Okay, so 8:45, guys. Air defenses were activated in Iran's Gulf island of Kesh. Cause unclarity. See? Okay, so unclarity. What did the unclarity do? It just took out the sell side that we targeted or that we were looking at. And now it broke to the upside. So, you know, is there a trade long here? In my opinion, no. Even though that it could work out, like you can use this first presentation after 6 a.m. and use that. Hopefully price holds and goes higher. But in my opinion, that's nowhere close. That's like a D plus trade. You have one thing going for your trade, the liquidity sweep and maybe this inversion of 6 a.m. But in my opinion, we're at all-time highs. I think the smartest thing here to do is wait for 9:30 and just wait for that injection of volume. Maybe trade around the macro from 9:50 to 10:10. And that's about it. And then after 10:30, guys, stop trading today. Like if you guys are planning to trade after 10:30, don't do it. It's not gonna, like if you look at any bank news holiday after 10:30, it gets pretty choppy. Ultra low liquidity. And so here's Trump candle. This is funny. This is random news candle as well. This here is like it's like technically like war candle, right? Like war news candle. So like you guys, like it's, you know, if you're in a long here and you got spiked out, so be it. The war is going to eventually end. It can't go on forever, right? But you can see here, like once we get above this high, like this is considered a market structure shift to the upside. And again, that might be the low and it might continue higher. Or just remember, there's going to be this huge RTH gap that formed in 40 minutes. So it might drive lower. And to be honest, when the market opens, I'm not trading. I'm probably going to be waiting to see what it does. And I want to see it first, hopefully trade lower and then push it higher. Or it might just start printing up and up and up and up and up and never stop. But you can't gamble on the open, guys, and wait for like a proper entry with proper risk management and proper technicals. Just YouTube, just here. I try for 3 times a week. I'm going to try for 5. It just takes mentally a lot for me to talk to myself while just sharing as much information. But I'm going to try every single day from 6:30 to like 8:30, like the first 2 hours of the pre 9:30. And in my opinion, guys, the pre 9:30 is the easiest way to make money. Because think about it, guys. The 9:30 opens up. It's usually a bloodbath. Sometimes it's clean, but it's a bloodbath. And the smart traders, they get in before the bloodbath, before all the retail traders get in at 9:30. You don't need massive injections of liquidity and volume. Like there's these little clean trades that we can take pre 9:30. And I think that is the easiest for new traders to make money. And that's where the focus is, right? That's why we got technically, you know, the initial directions right of the first 2 trades. Again, it's very easy to predict. It's slower, it's easier, and we can use the 1 minute, right? So we can scale aggressively if price goes into our direction. So that's that, guys. Let's see here. So we had our shift in market structure here. Okay. Price went down, pushed away from first presentation after 6 a.m. See, like, look, I'm seeing these rejections, but I'm not taking trades off of them because you want to see more shift in market structure. Let me guys give you a scenario here. We opened up here. We drove lower. We took out sell side. First presentation forms here. I'll be long right now if there's relative equal highs, but it's just time of day, guys. If we're not on the right time, it's not going to turn out to a good trade. So it's 8:55. We are in a macro. Plus, I am a teacher and the kids come in at make some money. Tell all the kids that you made your yearly salary in the first 2 hours of the day. Start teaching them ICT concepts. Oh, that's funny. Good. Good, man. I'm liking the grind. I will do, yes, where like you're basically stretching yourself. You're not, thinking about that 9 to 5 job. Because guys, what's going to happen with 9 to 5 jobs soon? AI is kicking in. AI automation, guys, I am scared for everyone that works in an office or that's in like corporate IT, or is in any kind of software. Developers are being replaced right now. Executives, project managers, there's automation happening at all scales. I think like the trades right now is the safest because by the time they build robots that can like build out walkways and build building, it's probably going to be 10 years. It's going to get there, but AI is here, and we've been trading with AI for the longest time. Like these algorithms, they've been here for a long time, guys. So I don't think it's changing anytime soon. So we're safe there. But again, AI, there's gonna be a wave of AI here. All right, first presentation. Look at the bodies, guys. Bodies staying above mean threshold. See, this is what you guys have to look at, okay? Train your eyes to look at the bodies and how they close. Another rejection. Am I loving that we just tap this high, we push back into this first presentation, then back up? No, right? Because like, this is technically like one attempt to break. And you can look at this at a second. Like there's two ways of looking at it. Like it's rejecting a second time, it's going to blast up or it's going to break through. But you're going to have to couple this with like an overall bias. And my overall bias, I'm telling you guys right now, I do not know. And it's okay not to not know. You just have to wait for a bit more information. Here, we didn't know what price would do, but eventually we did. And here we didn't know what it would do, but eventually we did. There you go. Second attempt lower. We're pushing down now. So here's the war candle. I think right now we are, based on the latest tweets, air defenses were activated. I think we're, the fundamentals are bearish, and the technicals technically right now we're in all-time highs, but there's a chance that we might go for this London low here, right? But again, I don't have conviction right now. I've here I had conviction, but now I don't. So when you don't, you have to be patient here and wait for price to give us something. Again, good questions, guys. Keep them coming because we're in a macro right now, but I'm not convinced of the short yet. Some things that I look at is like displacements away from first presentations, right? So for example, if we get a bearish fair value gap here, so like we close above, price is hovering, we break, we displace. Sometimes I look at pullbacks into this with taking trades lower. Again, it's like, is that a possible trade? Technically, it's going to be, with a 500 point bullish RTH gap, fading the all-time highs and using this, I think it's, the technicals are behind it, but it's just not a high probability enough. As of right now, still not for me. If I can get in a trade pre 930 and get it to break even, I might hold it to this level, right? Because this is major buy side liquidity here, right? Buy side liquidity. I don't like, if price were to break this, where would it go? Mean threshold of the opening range gap, maybe the Asia lows here, right? Look at this, guys. Very easy. You scrunch your charts and it's very easy to find smooth lows. So these are Asia lows here, okay? This right here. So what you do is you scrunch your chart, make it really skinny, and it's very easy to find things on the 1 minute, right? That's something that you guys can take back with you. And this is Asia lows here. And now we have possible targets for shorts, right? Assuming the market is short. And remember, shorting in all-time highs, it's extremely difficult. But look what we did here. And this Asia lows, it's still going to be above mean threshold of RTH gap, okay? So price. ES, still printing garbage. Look what ES did. It created, this is interesting, right? Relative equal lows, guys. What is the chance of this being targeted? Pretty freaking high, in my opinion. And you'll probably see a drop right now all the way down here. But again, always look at these relative equal highs and what price wants to do. So far, let's see if price wants to pull back here. I don't know, like this little short here, like this is looking pretty nifty. The major buy side liquidity, 10 to 1. That'll be a nice way to end off the stream. Let's see here. It's 9 o'clock. I'm thinking, guys, right now. Let's see if price wants to go in here. Let's see how it'll react. Maybe we might grab a short here, and maybe we might try to hold it. But right now, it's sitting in a respected 1 hour fair value gap. Sorry, this is a 15-minute fair value gap. You're in the short? What does that mean I'm in? Oh no, man, I'm just scared about a stupid tweet right now, believe it or not. But it pushed into this fair value up here. To be honest, I think it's gonna, let's do a little 50% risk here. I'll have my stop here. Okay, I'm at 40% risk, and we're just gonna slowly scale in. But I do think that we might push lower from here. Again, right now I'm testing the market out, right? So I'm going to be attacking major buy side liquidity below us at 889. And then let's see, again, I'm fading the all-time highs here. 889. And I'm using the macro war news to see if price wants to go lower. If it's going to go higher than this, then, you know, I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it, but I think we should be able to push off of this and push lower. Again, looking at the range, it's like we're trading in the discount right now, right? Like low to high here. Right? So we'll see here. So that's our entry. That's our stop. We're going to be targeting 889, 889.50, 88. Yeah. You know what? There you go. Okay. And let's see. Right. There is some sell side here too. We'll see. This is minor sell side here. Oh, I know. Minor sell side liquidity. Okay. This is where I go break even. If price decides to go down here, I'm going to go break even, and then we'll take it from there. So right now this is a 5-1. All right. Let's see what Martin's saying. Good morning. Really into ICT stuff, but the last few days watching, there's many gems. There's so many gems that you better be writing them down, man. That's good, man. Martin, glad that you're going into, you know, ICT stuff here. Okay, so I'm risking here $200. Usually I risk 500. So I'm risking 40% on this trade. And then again, I want to see it reject here. If it does, we'll scale in. If not, again, we'll take a 0.3% loss, which is peanuts. Again, usually wait for more, but remember, it's 9:03, guys, and we're in a macro. We wouldn't want to see first presentation break to the upside, and then ES still has relative equal lows below it that it needs to tag. War news, so we'll see here. This closure here, not prime. I want to see first presentation holding price to the downside here. I do not want to see this fair value gap here break to the upside. This next candle, I do want to see it aggressively reject this area, right? If it does, I'll scale in. If not, it's going to be a tiny little L. Again, it's a 5-1 here, right? So we'll see if we can get in before the 9:30, go to break even, and then just hold it and see if we can pull it off. But again, do I see longs here? Mean threshold. %. I'm rating my entry like a C right now. If you guys see me risking 500 to 600, it means that I'm really, really confident. If it's less than that, it's just I'm testing the market out and seeing if I can slowly kind of get in at a lower quality trade and then start scaling in and turn into a big trade. Five-minute. Let's see here. Not liking it at all. Here, I'm gonna close it off. I'm gonna close it off early. I don't like it. Bad trade. Bad trade, guys. And it being 9:05. I'm gonna go grab breakfast right now. But I'd say right now, the wise thing to do is if this rejected nicely to the downside, it would have been our move lower. But right now we are slowly shifting to the upside here. There's some minor buy side below us. But all in all, do not see Scott, the markets close out 1 o'clock, I think, Central. So they're open. That's like a half day. It's a low volume. To be honest, I don't even think today there is going to be an open at 9:30 because RTH is not going to pick it up. So, or 11 o'clock. There you go. Thanks, Bunty. There is a short close today because of banking holidays. So all in all, guys, I think we did fairly well today for bank holiday. Sometimes there's really clean trades, but it's consolidation. I caught a small loss here, but basically I'm technically almost at break even. Small loss for the day of minus $200, which is 0.3 R. And other than that, guys, hopefully you guys, take care, guys. Do not trade after 10:30. I'm banning all of you because you guys are just going to lose money at that point. And there might be a clean entry around, I think, 9:50 to 10:10 if price does turn up well. But again, price might push to the upside or I might close in that RTH gap. TBD. I don't know. And that's why I'm going to kind of close it off today. I'm calling today generally a win for myself, even though that we didn't pull massive trades and money. But on that point, what time do I come online? Some days, not all days, 6:30 in the morning. Okay. So we do some pre 9:30 trading just because it's the easiest to make money. Nice. So take care, guys. Safe trading today. Be careful. It's tough. Low liquidity. And if you guys aren't subscribed, feel free to subscribe for notifications. And if you want to support the channel, again, I think the only platform right now that I'm going to be adding my money to is Funded Futures Family, because everything else is a bit more expensive and it's just not worth it. So take care, guys. Safe trading and talk soon. 6:30 Eastern. ET.